Hello everyone, today we are talking about angles in a parallelogram. In your delta math, you were able to derive relationship between angles in a parallelogram and solve for unknowns. What is a parallelogram? Okay, so we saw this image, and if we want to give a definition to this image, we say that it is a parallelogram because a parallelogram is a figure made up of two pairs of parallel lines. So, more specifically, looking at the blues that are parallel to each other and the pinks that are parallel to each other, the figure made up in the middle is a parallelogram because there are two pairs of parallel lines. Now, looking at parallelograms, we have already noticed some relationships, but one relationship that we can observe are that opposite sides are congruent. So here we have the opposite sides. They are equal to each other. Also, we have that opposite angles are congruent. So these blue angles are congruent because they are opposite of each other. And these darker blue angles are also congruent because they are opposite of each other. Also, same side angles are supplementary. So angles that are on the same side. So if you pick a light blue one and a dark blue one, and they're on the same side, they're supplementary. Remember that supplementary means to add up to 180 degrees. Now, how do we use these to solve? Well, let's start off with one example. This is a delta math that you would be given that says in parallelogram EFGH, if the measurement of angle FGH is equal to 15 degrees, find the measurement of angle AHEF. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to look at the two angles given to you and you want to think of what is their relationship. What is their relationship? So take a moment and pause the video if you have to and try to think of what their relationship might be. Well, we've seen and we know that opposite angles are congruent. So their relationship is that they're congruent. In order to solve, we set both angles equal to each other. And so we have that x is also equal to 15 degrees. So the measurement of angle HEF is equal to 15 degrees. Okay, now let's look at another example. We have our parrot friend introducing our other example. We have in parallelogram MNPQ, if the measurement of angle QMN is equal to 25 degrees, find the measurement of angle PQM. Okay, so once again, we want to think about what the relationship is. And if we think about the relationship, we notice that they are on the same side and same side angles are supplementary. Once again, try to think of SSS, same side, supplementary. And so if we were to set up an equation, we would have that 25 degrees plus x degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Because what does it mean to be supplementary? To add up to 180 degrees. And so now we are just going to do the algebra where we subtract 25 degrees from both sides and are left with x is equal to 155 degrees. So the measurement of angle PQM here is 155 degrees. Okay, so now let's think of what equation would we use to solve for x when given expressions. Okay, so for the past examples, we were given just numbers. Here, we're given variables with expressions. And so what we want to think about is the relationship. So we have our penguin friends. Our penguin friend here says that 3x plus 5 is equal to 28 minus x. So that is what our penguin friend guesses. And then on the other side, we have our pirate parrot friend saying that 3x plus 5 plus 28 minus x is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, so thinking of what the relationship is between angle G and angle H, take a moment and pause the video if you want to take a guess. But when we're looking at the relationship, we see that they're on the same side of the parallelogram and therefore are supplementary. Okay, so thinking of which equation represents a supplementary relationship when we have two things that add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so remember to use your reference guides and Quizlet cards at all times. And feel free to email us if you have any problems, but otherwise, enjoy.